Around here, there's a bunch of crooks around here.
You ain't supposed to be in that jail, boy. Get out of there, man.
No, that's a total no, man. VAT coming.
Is my salary going up?
The Bahamian people got to wake up.
This is my 5 cents and I approve this message.
The Prime Minister says this year's referendum won't happen without opposition support. Pinewood Gardens residents react to a Privy Council ruling. A respected religious leader slams the Haitian president, plus the details of this morning's $2 million drug bust. We've got those stories and more coming up tonight. I'm Vonnie Toot and NB12 starts now. Tonight, Prime Minister Perry Christie says the government will only go ahead with the constitutional referendum set for November 6 if the government and opposition are united on the issue. The Progressive Liberal Party opposed the failed referendum held in 2012 by the Ingram administration. However, Christie told NB12 there is no room for division this time around.
There ought to be no difference at all between the parties with respect to this matter, and the only way a referendum will take place if we are united.
Speaking with reporters in the majority room of the House of Assembly on Wednesday, Prime Minister Christie suggested the long-awaited referendum on gender equality would not happen if the government and opposition were divided on this critical issue. He says that's why the government agreed to delay debate on constitutional amendment bills to give the opposition more time to fully understand them.
It is a complex issue to many Bahamians, and that they want to give themselves a full opportunity to be able to explain to their constituents, and not necessarily constituents in constituencies, but people who are in the leadership of their party.
12 years ago, the opposition Progressive Liberal Party strongly opposed the February 2002 referendum. The Ingram administration put 5 questions to voters on gender discrimination, the creation of a National Teachers Commission, Independent Parliamentary Commissioner, Independent Boundaries Commission, and Judges' retirement age. Voters rejected all 5 questions. Christie has defended the party's stance, insisting there was a lack of consultation. That's why he says he is counting on the Constitutional Commission to educate the public.
It is good because the Constitutional Commission can, in fact, take the opportunity to address the leadership of the FNM as they should the leadership of the PLP, because a part of their job is public education.
A pastor within the zone of land recently proven to be owned by Arawak Homes says his worst fears could be realized and his church destroyed if they don't find the funds to pay for that property again. Kyle Walking reports.
A local church has been caught in an ordeal involving several homeowners who may now find themselves paying for their property twice. He says his worst fear is that his church may be demolished, just as another was several years ago. Pastor Roy Burrows of Vision of Hope Church of God in Christ says since he first heard of the ordeal a few years ago, he has been losing members. He says they purchased their property in 2002, and a few years later, he got a call from Arawak Homes saying the property on which his church sits is theirs. A court ruling handed down by the Privy Council in the UK on Tuesday confirmed that Arawak Homes is the rightful owner of land in Phase 2 of Pinewood Gardens, also known as Sir Lyndon Pindling Estates, which is now occupied by hundreds of Bahamians. The ruling also spoke to land in a portion of Nassau Village where Vision of Hope lies. Pastor Burrows says his church was nearly demolished along with Canaan Baptist in 2009 after a Supreme Court ruling found Arawak Homes to be the rightful owner of that lot as well. But now that the issue has come up again, he's pleading with the owners of Arawak Homes to show some compassion.
But who knows? Mr. Wilson may just say to Vision of Hope, you only have to pay that and just remain faithful to the Lord. Who knows? He might just say that. But if he don't say that, then somebody out there, some corporate citizen out there, I pray that you are listening to us, today will say, look, let me come to the aid of Vision of Hope Church of God in Christ, and let's help them and financially, because we really will need it. If he doesn't say what I hope he will say, we will need all the help we really can get.
On the site where Canaan Baptist was demolished, there is now construction ongoing for a laundromat. Janet Monroe says she spoke with her lawyer a few years ago and thought the issue was dealt with. Arawac Homes President Brandon Wilson says they will give homeowners 12 months to contact them so they can begin to regularize their title. However, Monroe says she will not contact them and will let the mortgage corporation deal with it.
Why should the people who have to pay the mortgage, why should they lose? How come Arawac owns so much land? This land was put here for the Bahamians, so how come one person can own, the whole of the Bahamas? Something just ain't right. So how come everything is just rolled into one? They just slip everything together and throw people out 1 year after you have worked so long. All your investment go down the drain. At my age now, 57, who is gonna hire me now to go start all over again to talk about buy property?
James Boodle is a retired handyman and says he purchased his property in 1999, but not from Arawac Homes. He says if he has to pay for his property again, he's all right with it as long as he's paid back by the person he bought it from. Boodle adds that he's pretty sure his lawyer will deal with it.
She got some property from her father, Douglas Sands, and so she said that Arawac Home, if it's a mix-up, they're supposed to make some transaction with some other property which she had. I don't know if it gone through or what, so that's as far as what I know.
According to Arawac Homes, there are over 3,000 lots in the area. Of that number, they own 1,700. Reporting for NB12, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Meantime, Bahamas Faith Ministries President Dr. Miles Monroe has suggested that Haitian President Michel Martelly's call for Bahamians to invest in Haiti was inappropriate and pointed to a lack of leadership. Monroe says Martelly seemed to be seeking to shed his responsibility on the backs of the Bahamian people. Simone Davis reports.
Haitian President Michel Martelly was in town this week to sign a memorandum of understanding that would permit produce trade from Haiti to the Bahamas. While here, he addressed the issues of Haitian migration to the Bahamas and admitted that the previous governments have failed in the past to come up with the right formula to prevent this issue. He added that in order to stop Haitian migration, the Bahamas should step in to help. However, Dr. Miles Monroe disagrees with this notion, stating that it is inappropriate for the leader of one country to interfere with the national issues and development of another country, as nations should respect each other's boundaries.
The Bahamas is a sovereign country, and of course recent developments here in the Bahamas seem to suggest that there's a potential of crossing the boundaries when it comes to interfering in national issues and also even development of national policy. I would say that it's important for nations to respect each other's boundaries, not just physical boundaries, but also political boundaries, social boundaries, economic boundaries, and also policy boundaries.
Martelly also said that he is seeking assistance from the Bahamas government to get more investors to the northern side of Haiti to better the Haitian economy, which would mean fewer problems for the Bahamas. Once again, Monroe disagreed, saying that the leader of a country should recommend their own solutions and not allow people to take responsibility for their problems.
I do think it becomes very frightening to me when one country may require that another country solve its problems. As a leader in any organization, you are responsible for the problems that you oversee, and you have to recommend your own solutions and not allow other people to take responsibility for your problems. I do think we can learn from other people. We can get people to assist us, but to insist that a person helps you, I think may be a little bit dangerous, because you might be in a way attempting to not just influence, but maybe even direct another person's decision-making process.
Monroe says every leader of every country is responsible for the people who voted them into power, and that responsibility is to protect the dignity of those people and the policies of their country. Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
Drug Enforcement Unit officers seized $2 million worth of drugs today in an early morning bust. DEU Chief Superintendent Sam Butler says authorities have confiscated more than $23 million worth of drugs so far this year. Jasmine Brown reports.
Officials say while thousands of pounds of marijuana have been confiscated by DEU agents, they say less than 1,000 pounds of cocaine has been seized so far.
The most recent drug seizure was this morning when officers of the Drug Enforcement Unit seized $2 million worth of marijuana. Butler attributed their success to strategic patrols.
It's as a result of our strategic patrols outside of the Nassau Harbor.
The interdiction occurred around 2 this morning when officers from the Drug Enforcement Unit and the Police Marine Support Unit, assisted by U.S. Drug Enforcement agents, intercepted a 30-foot midnight express vessel 30 miles southwest of New Providence.
The vessel was searched and was found to contain a large quantity of suspected marijuana, some 40-plus bags of marijuana.
3 suspects, ages 42, 39, and 38, are now in custody in connection with the crime. Meantime, several major busts have occurred across the Bahamas. According to Superintendent Butler, so far this year, 10,000 pounds of marijuana has been confiscated by drug officers. He says the estimated value of those drugs is $10 million. He says between January 1st and July 31st of this year, officers seized 900 pounds of cocaine. The estimated cost of the confiscated cocaine is $13 million. In April, 2 Bahamian pilots and a Canadian man were arrested in connection with a $1 million drug bust at LPIA. That same month, officers seized more than $1.2 million worth of suspected marijuana on board a speedboat in waters near Andros.
We are continuing to follow the Commissioner's policy and continuing to secure our borders. Drug enforcement will be present wherever we suspect illegal activities are occurring.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Brown.